brother had passed away January 5 years ago, and things started disappearing. My little pinky ring, a spatula, my Dragon Naturally Speaking software, things just kept disappearing. And then all of a sudden one day I go out to my car and this tiny little pinky ring that had been gone for 6 months, oh, look how small that is, was sitting by my car door. Leaf blower guys came every Wednesday. There's no way that ring could have been there. Things started coming back. And then one day I got up and I started seeing what looked like little pollywogs. And I called Sonia back and I said, what is this I'm seeing? She said, oh, you're seeing photons. So it's the difference between seeing third dimension and seeing fourth dimension. And that's when all of this information started coming to me. That I know when people need help. I know what help people need. And I'm able to tap into subconscious. How many of you know that your subconscious actually argues with your conscious?
Opposite.
Yeah. It absolutely will drive you crazy because you think you know what you want, but your subconscious overrides your conscious. Now, this is something I love to teach people to do. Rub your fingers against your material. And then very gently rub your fingers up and down like this. Everyone say your name out loud. Everyone say your name is Sean.
Sean.
See how it got rough and sticky? Say your names out loud again. See how smooth it is? See it? Say silky smooth. Say your name is Sean. See how it got rough and draggy? That's your no. When it's silky smooth, it's your yes. When it's rough and draggy, that's your no.
Better than pendulum.
Pardon?
It's better than pendulum.
Much better. Pendulum is subjective. Applied kinesiology is subjective. Fingers, subjective. But this, you cannot fool your subconscious.
So it's direct contact?
It's direct contact, very, very lightly. You rub your fingers up and down. So you can actually ask, should I go here? Should I do this? Is this the person I should work with? Should I start this business? Should I become an author? You can ask and you already know. You know the theory of relativity, right? So time is consistent and we're always in that time, but we don't give ourselves credit for knowing the time. We don't give ourselves credit for knowing where we're going and what we're going to be doing. So we have the ability to take this information and apply it now. How many things do you think you would not have done if you had known the outcome? Right? I can think of a couple. Yes, Evan?
So Sharon, isn't there a path associated with that? Because in our culture we go, oh, that needs to happen tomorrow. So the answer may be there, but it may be part of a path rather than a tomorrow thing? Or...
Oh, it has nothing to do with tomorrow or a path or a time per se, but I would imagine if you could wake up tomorrow and know that you were going to meet somebody who would help you accomplish what you want to do. But then you get up tomorrow and you go, I just don't feel like going out, it's raining. So you don't meet that person, right? What if instead you say, should I go? Will I meet someone? And then as people are talking to me and I'm sitting at the table, I now do it with my thumb and finger. I'm under the table going, is this the truth? I didn't tell them what I, is that right?
With the subconscious, sometimes we are trying to change our subconscious because we're not, like if you want to make more money or you're, well, I guess that's still.
It's still, so let's say you're doing something that you're not really happy about and you're not making more than enough money, right? So we all have the ability to make more than enough. And I had this really cool epiphany one time. This man said, how do you help poor people? Never be one of them.
Yeah.
It's that simple, right? So the more money you have, the more you can help other people. I brought this tonight because I just think this is so cool. This is the Ultimate Business University, and I've been raising funds. It's dedicated to my brother when he passed away 5 years ago. Because he was adopted, I decided to build a school in his honor. It's his legacy. And so I've been raising funds and working to be able to get people connected. And on the way over here tonight, I heard that this Chinese delegation who has billions of dollars to fund philanthropic works, they asked for my email. So they have had my proposal since July, and they've asked for, you know, this little tweak and that little ad and change this and do this thing. And tonight they asked for my email. So out of 20,000 proposals, only 5 of us have made it to review. So 6,000 kids, taking them off the streets from around the country, eventually around the world, and moving them into a castle for high school, where they will actually be taught every required course through multimedia. So math, science, history, English will look like a Star Wars movie or a video game. And then experts. Doesn't matter what your expertise is. You come down and teach a stained glass class. And we'll have bungalows that people can come down and do visiting instructions, which will be videotaped. So we'll end up with these amazing libraries of experts that the kids can tap into forever. So if money was not a limit in your life, know in your heart what you would do. And then start making things happen. So this week alone, on Friday, I was asked by Michael Daughter, who was going to be here tonight. He actually was the Oakland, LA Raiders in 1984, part of the Super Bowl team. And he's part of the NFL alum. And he is going to have a fundraising project for the school. This is only Tuesday, right? Yesterday, I had Robert Anthony in Australia introduce me to Kitty, Ruby, what's her name? Kitty? Newspaper. Hearst. Kitty Hearst, who's philanthropic. And he said, I will never have to worry about funds for the school. Because I'm so conscious about doing things for these kids, everything just kind of comes into my path. Now, I believe that, how many of you had a party line or know what a party line was like? You know, the phone, you have 10 people on the same party line, right? So I grew up, there were 10 families on the party line. You pick it up, it's busy, you put it down, you pick it up, somebody else is talking, right? And finally you get a dial tone. Well, I think that life is like a party line. And when you're really talking about the things that you're passionate about, other people come into your party line and join the conversation. So that's what's happening with me, right? I flew to Dallas for a real estate event, and I looked up and there was the Dallas Chamber. I walked over and introduced myself to the chamber director and said, my niece lives here, I'd love to come back and speak to the chamber. And this man standing next to me said, Belize. I said, oh my gosh, that's where I'm building the school and blah, blah, blah. 3 days later, I get an email from him and he said, Sharon, I've never met anyone with a heart as big as yours. Anything I can do to help you, you just let me know. And he signed it, the Honorable Tench. Have you ever gotten an email from anybody named Honorable anything? I hadn't. So I Googled his name. He is the ambassador from Belize, based in Houston, who happened to be in Dallas at the same moment that I was, standing in the same place. Now, that's how the party line works. So I love inspiring people to make your bucket list. How many of you have a bucket list?
What is this?
Bucket